Miles, let's talk some fantasy football. We matched up this week, and I will say right now the score should be
Not even
different if
close.
it because of injuries and bye weeks. But right now the score is 153 to 102. I'm up, and I basically took Miles out of the number one seed in fantasy. Now that number one seed belongs to Peter, and he texted me that yesterday. He's like, I'm gonna pull up the text right now. What did Pete say? He goes, "You beat Miles. I'm sole owner of First in Fantasy." And then he put the sunglasses with the emojis on. I felt like texting this. I beat Peter almost by 100. Then I go and beat the one seed Alex, and now I beat one seed Miles. So I technically beat the last three. The one seed, like you're just, if you face me, it's like, hey, just know like it's not gonna be
This is
easy
your
for you.
kryptonite. This is your boogeyman coming in to take that from you.
I'm
But
the
I,
killer.
I put up an absolute stinker, and I just find it hilarious that all week we were like, dude, I feel like it's just gonna come down to our quarterbacks. I picked up Jimmy G, Angel picked up Danny Dimes, and it really had zero impact on the final score. Like it literally, like they basically played to a wash, and then
Yeah,
I just had Cooper Cup, and that did not
yeah,
end pretty or look pretty. And you have Jefferson, right?
yeah. What
Yeah, you
hurt
have
you was
Jefferson and still
yeah,
Brown today. So you're up by 50 and still more to play. I have Devontae and Goddard, but it's still
yeah.
not like they're gonna put up 50 without AJ getting any.
What hurt you was Kenneth Walker and Cooper Cup. Cooper Cup, obviously, because he got injured, but the Seahawks just couldn't run the ball. That hurt you.
At least he
Outside of
chipped in a little bit in the
yeah,
passing game. At least he
he
didn't put up
did.
just like a complete donut. Because if he would have just had just those rushing yards, I would have been over from the 9:30 game.
Yeah, so for anyone, I'll read you his lineup. Miles' lineup is Jimmy G, James Conner got him 23 points. Kenneth Walker gave him 13. Cooper Cup gave him 2 because he was injured. Tyreek Hill gave him 15. He has Dallas Goedert and Devontae Smith tonight. He has the Steelers defense that gave him 12. He'll take that any day. Tyler Bass, 13 points. That's
Take
awesome.
that.
And then,
I can't be mad at the roster.
yeah,
It just didn't come together this week.
Packers punter gave him 6. Then I have Danny Dimes, 18. Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, 23 each. Jefferson, 35. Thank you, Justin. AJ Brown, Dalton Schultz gave me 17. Chris Godwin gave me 19. So happy for that one. That one I was scared.
Yeah,
I have the
Godwin
Eagles
was balling.
defense tonight. I have Harrison Buckner. He gave me 3. That was bad. And then my punter. My punter gave me 13 points.
Yes,
That to me was
he
like
was snapping.
the difference maker. I was like, oh my gosh, my punter
Yeah, that
had
was
10
definitely the
points
icing
going
on
in
the cake.
halftime. I was hoping he could get another 10. So I'm like, bro, I accomplished 20 points with a punter. But that didn't happen. But I will say I am this was a good matchup, but man, the stakes of now for what it is, now I know kind of like if it does continue the way it's going, I would beat Miles. And then next week he will face Edwin.
Yeah.
So it'll kind of almost be a must win. And
It
where
does not get any easier for me.
and then you face Alex, who you'll be tied with after this week if it continues. Then you face Pete, who's 7-2 in the sole one seed, and then you end the season with Dom, who's 6-3 currently right now. So it's definitely a teeter totter, but man, I gotta admit, like this fantasy league, there's been like it's competitive, but it's also like okay, this has to stop eventually.
It's just I think this has been a great fantasy season, and like it makes me want to have like even bigger stakes. Like I'm in a group chat with some of my other boys, and they were texting. They're like, "Yo, let's make like a second 8-man league so that we can have relegation." Oh, like, yo, that sounds amazing. That sounds absolutely amazing. But I just think it's just been a cool season, and like, we really struggled earlier in the season, like with the actual NFL team scoring points, but I don't really think that's really impacted many of the players because they're still putting up stats. Like they might not be getting into the end zone, but the receivers are getting to 100 yards or 6, 7 catches is not insane for you to think like that's what your guy is going to get,
Yeah.
especially if you have a Tyreek Hill, if you have a Cooper Cup. I mean, we
Any
saw Chris
top tier
Godwin
wide
yesterday had,
receivers.
yeah, we saw Chris Godwin had 6 catches yesterday. So like, it's not even like you need like, oh, that certified, wide receiver one. Like the teams are spreading it out. It just, it now it gets more especially as you go later into the season, it gets really more dependent on matchups. So like who you're going to put in your lineup depends on like who they're facing this week. But I think this is a great fantasy season. Everybody's putting up points. Like you get the Kenneth Walker story, like we had the Javonte Williams story last year. You know,
Brees
having
Hall was
yeah,
on a tear before he got hurt.
exactly. So like, and even James Robinson, a guy that like you're like, oh, this is a fantasy guy that I've had in the past. Maybe I should scoop him up. And he starts the season off hot, gets traded to try to replace Brees Hall. Try ETN. If you were patient on ETN, it's paid off.
It
And then
worked out.
even
Yeah.
like some of the higher guys, like Jonathan Taylor. Like if you have Jonathan Taylor, you were pretty upset until you had him this week, and then you're like, he finally shows up. But
It's
like,
like,
all right,
where have you been the past
it's
8 weeks?
that's part of the grind of the season.
Yeah. Well, I will say that this was fun. And our matchup, man, I feel like our matchup now kind of it definitely makes our division closer because now you and Alex will be what would it be? Okay, you both of you would be 7-3 if Alex wins his game this week against Ed. But I still want to know ESPN's final projection rankings. I'm like, okay, if it continues, I beat Miles. How is Miles and Pete above me?
No, but I don't think it updates until the record updates.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
because I'm like,
So right now it's still going off based off if we
yeah,
hadn't played yet.
because Miles is 1, Pete is 2, I'm 3, Alex is 4, Nick is 5, 6 is Dom, 7 is JP, 8 is Ed, 9 is Moises, and 10 is Ryan.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I just because bro, I need this. I need to catch up in terms of wins. I was like, oh my, I just need to secure a playoff spot. That's all I say to myself. If I can secure a playoff spot, I'm good. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm good.
Yeah, I definitely, and it's get into the playoffs and anything can happen, just like in the NFL.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Oh man. But I'm pretty excited because I know there's some guys who have like, all right, I want to face them just so I could beat them. Because there's gonna be that one guy saying, bro, you're lucky you didn't play me. If I would have played you, it would have been over. I'll be like, all right, cool. But I will say I this has been so far a good year of fantasy. And I'm not going to talk too much about our E2G league because one, we just kind of, let's
Yeah,
just say it didn't work out for us. It
played
didn't
a
work
little
out.
bit of an egg in that one.
Yeah, a little bit
Had
of an
some
egg.
had some injury problems. Had some guys just not put up their usual stats. So we'll
Yeah.
bounce back.
Yeah.
Not stressing
We literally lost a guy like within the first 10 minutes of Sunday, probably
it.
the rest of the season. I was like, oh my God. When I saw Jerry Judy go down, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I was like,
Okay, not good.
but if we put Isaiah McKenzie, it wasn't going to make that much of a difference either. I mean,
Yeah, so
uh,
it wasn't like we were wasn't like it wasn't bad game plan. It was just poor execution necessarily.
yep, exactly. That's all we can say. But man, oh man, I'm really excited because man, this fantasy league, if it's only a couple more weeks and the trade deadline, people still have time to make moves. They have time to make a trade, make a big trade that could probably set them up. But I'm excited. This so far, it looks like we know who's going to be in the playoffs. The only thing will be like those last two seeds, the 5 and the 6. But man, I just hope those buys don't hurt the 1 and 2 seed because hey, if you scored a lot of points that week, just know it was kind of all for nothing, but you had the buys, so you made it to the semis. Just know you kind of have to put that again in the semis. But hey, we'll see. But that's the great part about fantasy football. Anything can
Yeah,
happen.
the grind continues. Even if you take the L, we're right back at it this week.
Yep.